Hey Soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Claire Renee. Again, we are back with another Meridian Flow, a part of the Meridian series that I'm doing. And today's focus is our lungs. Now, the lung meridian is focused on energy that pretty much comes from the midline up. And that energy, of course, because it flows upward, will be the cooler yin energy focus in this flow. So areas that we're going to be focusing on today will be areas such as our belly, the top of our shoulders, even the neck, our forearms, just so you can get an idea of why you might be in certain poses today. You won't need any props today, so let's hop on our mat and get started. Grab your mat and let's get ready to begin. We are going to get started today by taking a moment to just acknowledge that we showed up, that we are on the mat, and ready to commit to 20 minutes of practice today. So start by closing your eyes or softening your gaze, connecting deeper with the breath, a few deep inhales, and some long exhales at your own pace, on your own timing. Tension out of the jaw, out of the forehead, out of the hands. And we're going to start on hands and knees today. We're going to go into a wrist flexor stretch starting on our right hand. So as you see me do, I take that hand and I flip it so that my fingers are facing me. Now what I'm going to do for a nice stretch in that wrist is to sit back on the heels. If that's too intense, like you just saw me do, maybe bring the fingers out to the side. But if you can, try and aim for the fingers towards you. You're pushing against that left hand as well for a little support so that you're not putting so much pressure just on that right arm and right hand. Slight bend in that elbow. You can't tell because I'm hyperextended, but I am slightly bending that right elbow. It's an area we tend to forget about. Go ahead and shake that out. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other side, remembering to push back towards our heels. You don't have to sit on your heels, but just in that direction. As you're in the stretch, just make sure that the palm is not lifting off of the mat. So if you have to lift that hand off of the mat, or it gets a little too intense, that's a sign you've just gone a little too far. So maybe shift forward a little bit more instead of going so far back. Release that stretch, shake it out, and we're going to go back to that right wrist, except you saw me just kind of break that wrist a little bit. I just let it fall, and we're going to go for a wrist extensor stretch, which is fingers still towards us, except now we are on the skin side of our hand, still pushing back towards the heels, still a slight bend in the elbow. It might take a little moving around to figure out what works for you and what feels like a deep enough stretch for you. Don't hesitate to find that for yourself. The key is to find a little bit of stillness after we find. Shake it out, and other side, same thing. Take a moment, figure it out. Once you've found a good spot, just connect to that breath. Maybe close your eyes and just feel the sensation. Release that, shake it out, and start to walk your hands out in front of you. We're trying to keep the hips right above the knees as we find puppy dog pose. I like to call it melting heart. The goal here is to reach those arms as far as you can and to let that chest and belly drop as low as you can get it towards your mat. Now, if this ever feels a little too intense on your shoulders, a good way to remedy that is to just stay where you are, but just maybe open the hands out, the arms out a little bit wider on your mat. So maybe you want your arms to be mat width distance apart. Walk your hands back, take your time coming back up out of our puppy dog pose. And we're gonna find ourselves in a natural seat, just like how we started class, sitting up nice and tall. Gently tilt that head to your right shoulder. Go ahead and take that right hand up against that side of your face, reaching the left fingers as far as you can away from the body. Now I bet you're feeling a bit of a stretch in the neck here. Maybe how you started, just looking forward, is enough for you. But while we're here for a little bit, I encourage you to just gently guide your head. And you can look up, you can look down, you can look towards the mat, you can look towards the ceiling. And they don't have to be huge adjustments, but you will feel different areas of the neck get a little bit of a stretch based on where your gaze is. So it's just a nice touch if you'd like to just feel out different areas of the neck that we might miss. Of course, when you find a new spot, take a moment to really feel it. Don't feel like you just have to keep moving your head non-stop. The key is to remember to keep that reach in the arm that's stretched out. So keep reaching those fingertips as far away from your body as you can the whole time. Gently bring your head back up to center. You can use that right hand. And we're going to do the same thing on our other side. You can gently pull the head to the side if you'd like. And remember, we're reaching out now, the right fingertips away from the body. Gently bring your head back to center. We're going to come out of this pose. We're going to find ourselves in a twist. So we're still seated, taking that right hand to our left knee. And as best we can, finding a nice deep twist, as if we're trying to look towards the back of the room. Remembering to stay connected to your breath. Trying not to let the shoulders creep up to the ears, but instead away from the ears, down the back. Great opportunity to really wring out that midsection of our body. Same thing towards the other side, taking that right hand towards your left knee and twisting in that direction. It's okay if you cannot twist very far. This isn't a competition. Trying to stay nice and long through the body, sitting nice and tall, energy all the way up through the crown of your head as you twist. Slowly make your way out of your twist. We're going to come to our back, so meet me there. And we're going to scoot our upper body to the right, and then our legs will follow. Like you see me doing here, shuffle those legs over. I like to take that left foot on top of the right, just because it helps me stay in place. If that's not for you, you can always just keep the feet next to each other. I also like to grab the opposite elbows above my head. I feel it gives a deeper stretch in the side body as well. So it's almost as if you're trying to make yourself a banana, the shape of a banana. It's really hard to get this pose wrong. The only thing I would say is just make sure that that left butt cheek is on the mat and that left hip isn't trying to lift up off of the mat. That's usually a sign that your body has gone too far, so just to pull back a little bit from the stretch, whether that means in your upper body or your legs, however you choose. We're gonna shift our way back to the center. Shake it out for a moment, and then we're gonna shift our body over to the left and do the same exact thing, crossing that right foot on top of the left. Notice how my right butt cheek is still on the mat, it's not popping up. This is a beautiful stretch for that side body. Some might feel it really deep in the obliques, others might feel it in the psoas. Remember to continue to stay connected to your breathing. Our lungs are super important. They regulate our breathing, our energy intake. So when they're unbalanced or the energy around or connected to the lungs, the pathways in our bodies that we're working on today, when that stagnant energy is in there or something is blocked, we can be dealing with respiratory issues, throat and nose issues, even sadness or grief. So if ever you start to feel those things, it's always good to just check in with your body. And a good way to do that is maybe take a flow like this one, where you can focus on clearing energy in the pathways that connect to our lung. Shuffle your way out of the pose. Take up space. Allow your feet to drop outwards. Finding our last pose, Savasana. Allowing yourself to just be present, to be open and ready to receive with the palms up. And just noticing how you feel. It doesn't just have to be what you feel physically, but how do you feel emotionally, spiritually, mentally, as we work on bringing yin energy, cool energy today through the body. Just start to notice any subtle changes from when you started till now. And maybe you don't feel any changes, and that's okay as well. Take this as a moment to just survey how you feel with no judgment. Find some movement in your fingers, your toes. Maybe reach the hands over the head if you want a nice deep stretch. Oh, that feels so nice. And make your way to your side, whatever side feels comfortable for you. And make your way up to a nice comfortable seat. We're going to take a deep breath, taking the hands up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, heart center. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, hands meet, heart center. And this last deep breath, big inhale, maybe exhale out of the mouth. Namaste, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.